Hello, and thank you for joining us in this module where we will look at the steps required to become a chartered engineer with the IET. We'll look at the steps presented in a flowchart. Looking at the flowchart, the whole process starts with an academic review of the candidate's degree by the IET. And right at the bottom of the flowchart, the candidate can either acquire the status ING MIET or CNG MIET. So that's Chartered Engineer of the IET. So those are the options. And we will perform a deep dive into the different steps in a subsequent slide. From the academic review performed by the IET, the candidate's degree can be considered as accredited by the IET. So it's important to get that confirmation from the IET. If, however, the candidate does not have the requisite academic qualification, it is possible to perform some further learning to top up that academic qualification so that the candidate gets the required level of academic qualification. So it's the same for the ING as well. So once the candidate has achieved the required academic base, the candidate can proceed to further steps in the chartered engineer process. So it's important for the candidates to identify sponsors that can support their application. The sponsors should preferably be chartered members of an institution, so a UK engineering institution like the IET or even the AMEC or ICE. It's also important to get a professional development mentor and a professional registration advisor to provide advice along the way. Now you can contact us and we can perform that support. So these are basically people who have got a very good knowledge of what information to provide in the application form and also how to answer questions during the interview. We can also give you an idea of some of the questions to expect during the professional registration interview with the IET. You're also expected to complete your application form using the UK spec and prepare your development report, so your development action plan, and also your continued personal development. So provide a history of what you've done in the past. Once you've compiled all the relevant information, you can have your sponsors, mentors, professional registration advisor review your application form before you submit it to the IET. Once you submit your application form, you can actually start to prepare for the professional review interview. We can organize mock interviews for you where we would subject you to similar conditions that you will face during the actual professional review interview with the IET. And we would perform a detailed analysis of your performance and provide that feedback to you so you know exactly what you're going to say, how you should say it during the interview. After the mock interview, obviously, you'll attend the actual professional review interview with the IET, where you would present your report in 15 minutes, and then you would have a session of question and answer from the registration panel. from the interview panel. So they'll ask you questions based on the reports you've provided, your experience, your plans for the future. I'll show you your short-term plans, your medium-term plans, and your long-term plans. And if you are successful, you'll be awarded the chartered engineer status with the IET. Some candidates go through the incorporated engineer route, and there's always the option to top up that qualification. So to move from IEng to CEng by performing some further learning and then applying to the IET. So we've provided a checklist to help you track your progress and plan further steps. So this is downloadable. It's part of this module. Feel free to download and use it to track your progress along the way. So you start the process by checking that you've got the accredited degree for CEng application. So contact the IET. So that's the prof reg info at the iet.org, or contact us directly and we can help you provide the necessary information if the contact information has changed. Afterwards, you can start to review the attributes. So that those are the competences that you need to demonstrate. Create a matrix of projects you've done and see how you can extract evidence to show that you've demonstrated the competence or you can demonstrate the competence. This is something we can help you with. So contact us if you need help with articulating what you've done in a report. So prepare a draft report and get two sponsors from within your company. Now, these are people who would ideally be chartered engineers with a UK professional institution and also have a good knowledge of what you've done. They would be in a position to provide advice on what you can put in. You can, in addition, contact a professional registration advisor. So, this is someone who sits during the interviews, someone who asks questions, so someone who reviews reports. They are in a position to advise you of the content of your report, and also they can provide advice on how you can prepare for the professional review interview. You can contact us and we can provide this service for you. So, like I said, have your PRA, so that's the professional registration advisor, review your draft interview and have your sponsors as well and your friends to review your interview. They can actually help you with proofreading and they can provide feedback on how clear the contents are. You'll be expected to provide your development action plan and your professional development records, prepare an organizational chart, and again have your PRA and sponsors review your report. So complete your application using the IET Career Manager and get your sponsors to sign it and pay your application fees before you submit to the IET. It will now be time to start to prepare for your professional registration interview. So prepare a presentation. We can help you prepare that presentation so we can work on your PowerPoint slides. And you would now prepare by arranging mock interviews to see how to gauge basically your level of readiness for the actual interview. This is something we can help you with. Okay. So the IET would contact you with dates for your interview, and it will now be time for you to prepare for your professional review interview. So that's the process in a nutshell. So you have got our contact. Do not hesitate to contact us on WhatsApp. We're very reactive and will respond to your questions, or you can send us an email. Join our Facebook page. We have a very good group actually where we post information regularly, so you could see some tips on how to attempt the interview and also how to prepare your documents. So don't hesitate to contact us and we'll see you very soon. Thank you.